Okay, so you get some people saying that, oh, well, you shouldn't bother voting because they're beyond reproach. And yeah, I apologise for it just not fly so professional. Looks bonky. I don't know what's going on with my tripod at the moment. That might be better. But yeah, so I don't know. Let's go show the example. So, oh, you're flogging a dead horse. Ombudsmen are untouchable crooks. What about Kate Hoey and Company? Sorry, but the amount of stupid little comments like that keep coming up, and it's like, come on, that and the tenants are, we're rechanging London from a back-end industrial estate to high-end. It's probably one of Cameron's fucking cronies that are getting paid off and, benefiting from all of the stupid little changes that are going on. So, you have to bear that in mind, that people have their own agendas and everyone has their own agendas, but if you want things changed, you have to actually complain. You have to actually get things done. You can't just sit back and go, oh, well, something will happen, or what else are you meant to do? Just cry in the corner or die? You got to fight. You can't just sit there and go, oh, nothing's going to change. It won't change if you don't do anything, will it? That's the wrong attitude to have. You have to actually go out and make change. So, some of the petitions that I've signed lately, because I put housing into the parliamentary petitions. Yeah, if you're going to do it, don't do it on change.org or anything like that. You've got to do it on the main Parliament petitions website, because they're arseholes for litigation. It's like, what's the... In Hitchhiker's Guide for the Galaxy, the people that are all paperwork and very specific minutiae of the meanings of every single piece of paperwork and all that, they're them right now. That's how they seem with correspondence. Like, they focus on the minutiae and the red tape and the paperwork and tying it all up in red tape and all the other bullshit. So yeah, I stopped the use of unfounded statistics in debates in the House of Commons, because they seem to be allowed to just make up any statistic they want. Oh, that's not right. Another one. Any property owned by a council association or housing association must be soundproofed. I'm sure that's not relevant to most people, but I think it's a fair thing, So I've signed that. Reverse the decision to limit the social housing... social sector housing benefit to private sector rates. So basically, they're raising the council and housing association rent to match the private rate rather than being cheaper. So with the fact that they've reduced the LHA, so you have to be limited to whatever's within the LHA, and that's only for housing benefits. The universal credit is way worse than that, because on universal credit you get 350 something per month, yet with jobseekers you get £73 and 16 or something per week. And then housing benefits, the LHA is £57 for anyone under 35 in Birmingham. In different parts of the country it may be different. But if you add them together, right, so 53 plus 73, so 57 and 73, conveniently, they sort of match up, don't they? Right, so 60 plus 50, no, 80 plus 50, right, so £130 a week times 4.3, so that's 260, 520.3, let's call it 550. That's £200 you lose that on. What the fuck? So universal credit, not good, not sensible, not remotely. I mean, it's deliberately saving even more. And that's on top of the fact that if you're paying £86.19 per week on rents, because they put the rents up, it's a bit strange. I mean, sure, 350 might just about pay for 4 weeks, it won't. Not at that price. But then you need to pay bills and get food and other stuff. So, completely wrong. And like, anyone under 35, you're expected to die off. Stop using taxpayers' money to subsidise the House of Commons. I mean, they do earn 70,000 plus in salaries, plus they get expenses, plus other things. There's far too many things that they get that they shouldn't, and it's like, oh, well, we deserve it. No, you don't, you bastards. Urgently review the application of LHA rates to social housing because they're completely wrong. Anyone over 35 can have a home, but anyone under 35, no, you're not allowed a home. You're not even allowed shared housing on the private because this fucking shared housing is more expensive than the LHA rates. And even then it's rat infested and overcrowded and not suitable. And it's like, no, that's not right. Not right at all. Of course, my previous place that they got me kicked out of was at £60 a week, so it was £3 more than the LHA. But I could pay £3 a week, but that's probably why they went into these snide tactics to get me out. It's like, oh, well, if we do all this because he's been living there so long, we can't really up his rent, so let's be side little bastards and do stupid things and then time and red tape for years so that he doesn't get his place back. And yes, it just seems a bit too convenient that they do that. And there's other things where it's like, oh, well, we can't do your subject access request because it's been more than 14 months and it had to have been on the review. And it's like, I've been complaining about it and requesting reviews since the thing, so there's been no 14-month period where you've been allowed to destroy the evidence, you twats. Parliament, no confidence in the current government. Well, yes, so obviously that. Stop the housing and planning bill coming into legislation because, again, there's more things in that are going to stop young people being able to get a home and various things like that. So, yes, read through that if you will. Scrap the 2 to 5 year limits on council house residency. Since when did this come into effect? You're only allowed to council house for 2 to 5 years and then you get kicked out? Social mobility bollocks. It's kicking you out in the streets again. It's just so they can have an excuse. It's like, oh, well, we won't deliberately illegally withhold your rents after you've lived there for so long. Now we've made it legislation and we can kick you out with no consequences. Fuck you, government. We, the public, call for an emergency rerun of the general election. Hold a general election in 2016. Of course, my one, which is to get the ombudsman, local government ombudsman, cases reviewed by High Court judges. So follow the link and sign that, please, because it needs 5 people to appear. So, it's all this stupid bullshit where you have to get 5 people to sign it blind without ever knowing it, just for it to appear on the actual thing. And it's like, oh, fuck's sake, they don't even want petitions to appear on the actual pages. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Join us next time. Goodbye.